So now this is part 2 of my official stance on why I'm Christ, what proves I'm Christ, what have you. So now keep in mind that jealous people, who you all know are jealous and petty, are persecuting me and changing my voice and fuming and poisoning me. But you can still tell, if you have any sense at this point at least, that I am far above other people. I'm on a profoundly righteous mission. They are not. Just trying to feed people is not the righteous mission of God. The poor will always be with you, but you need to do God's work. And it's not the churches. None of the churches, the mosques, the synagogues, no groups, the Buddhist temples, no group you can think of is on a profound mission. And all of them seek to benefit from the sabotage of the poor and from people sabotaging me and things like that. Especially, sabotaging people of color, sabotaging black people first and foremost, which goes back to the idea of manifest destiny and how it connects to the ship's manifest, which was the slaves. And we see that slaves are also spoken about in Revelation, about what Babylon took, right? They're merchants who, and it includes cargoes of humans sold as slaves. Okay. And never again, at the end of the Bible, will they sell any humans as slaves, only the undead, only people who don't have the Spirit of God in them. And in James it says, the body without the flesh, like the body without the flesh is dead, faith without works is dead. So you know that they're petty. You know that they're petty because of the music they listen to, right? Rock and roll and rap and all this stuff with no higher cause. R&B's erotic desired twist of love. Corporate nonsense, corporatism, politics. Because of the news. Because of school. Because of petty people who are quick to snob people over petty things. Because of the degree of narcissism and rape and violence and starvation and drugging. That the masses of people are suffering almost first and foremost because they're petty. So when you see somebody who's part black, who looks black, like me, I'm basically black, who is the top martial artist ever, when they have white images of Christ everywhere and a bunch of right hate groups everywhere and a bunch of arrogant rich people that call someone well-cultured if they understand white culture well, but if you understand other cultures well, they wouldn't say you're well-cultured for the most part. They would just put their nose up at you and say, why didn't you study our culture instead? Beyond a reasonable doubt that the masses of people, especially the rich, are petty. And I know beyond a reasonable doubt that you know that. So not only is it obvious that I'm Christ, I know that you know that it's obvious. We go to Psalm 18. Verse 20, the Lord has dealt with me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanliness of my hands, he has rewarded me. I just, right now I'm on Psalm 103 in my Psalm playlist. Okay. I just finished Psalm 103 rather. Okay. And, they try to make it so I sound like fucking Obama sometimes, sound like a gangster, like a gay guy, like someone with mania. Okay. But the point is, back to, the Psalms, is that I put this thing in context with the best of them. That's not even the first time I've publicly read Psalms or I posted on the internet. Last time I got to like Psalm 68 and then I stopped. Then I started over for TikTok and for this channel. I believe the other one might have been on another channel. I don't know, maybe it was for this channel too. On Poison Christ on YouTube. Okay. And I very much put into context and Proverbs that comes afterwards and so on and so forth. It's very much in context. The Lord has dealt with me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanliness of my hands, he has rewarded me. Going down to verse 24, the Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. And we see in Proverbs 16:12 that the throne is established, the throne of God, not of England or Saudi Arabia or Jordan or whatever, but the throne of God, not of any local ethnic group. The throne of God, right? The King of Kings, God's representative, is established in righteousness. New Living Translation, justice. We see in Isaiah, when it speaks of the coming Me coming, right? Christ, the coming of Christ, the Christos, the anointed one. He said he will speed the cause of righteousness and justice. Okay, he won't sit there and conform. He will speed the cause, and it won't be some theater art game. He won't be wearing a crest. He won't be a Freemason or fraternity guy or a corporate guy or some secret society groom person. Okay, they try to interfere with my videos and try to make it so I seem like them. But everyone knows 1 + 1 = 2, and everyone knows the difference between me and Barack Obama and me and anyone else far beneath me. If they don't know that, my goodness. I mean, some of these people want to pretend that scientists are above the top martial artists ever. I mean, we're talking about some people are out of touch, but they must know that's rubbish. They must know that I'm far above them. What holy book is written about scientists? That's laughable. See, Baal was a war god. Horus, a war god. Set did war arts. Zeus, a war god. All across the world, and Kali, and on and on and on. All these people depicted with weapons, Sekhmet, Bastet. But they're going to sit there with 2 thongs and pretend that it's smart to suppress the top martial artist ever and to persecute them and mock them. If you cannot look at them and tell the difference between them and me beyond a certain bare minimum point, then you are mildly to severely retarded. Go down to verse 25. To the faithful, you show yourself faithful. To the blameless, you show yourself blameless. To the pure, you show yourself pure. But to the devious, you show yourself shrewd. You save the humble, but bring low those whose eyes are haughty. By humbling yourself to God, not to man. Jesus didn't beat around the bush. He said, I am that I am. God told Moses, go tell him that you are who you are. And I'm telling you that I'm the top martial artist ever possible. I'm God's representative, and this is the end, and there will be no successor after I die. After my flesh dies, that is. Verse 28, you, Lord, keep my lamp burning. My God turns my darkness into light. Right? The parable of the 10 virgins. They were told to keep their lamp burning. Now, what is the lamp? Right? It's a light of justice, right? That's part of it. Isaiah 51:4. But we also know that it is a warrior light from the next verse. Right after he says, you Lord, keep my lamp burning. My God turns my darkness into light. He says, with your help, I can advance against a troop. With your help, I can scale a wall. So you can climb across the barriers that are put before him. You can overcome, climb across, transcend, overcome. He said, with your help, with you as the driving force. And that's what made me the top martial artist ever possible. As for God, his way is perfect. The Lord's word is flawless. He shields all who take refuge in him. For who is God besides the Lord? And who is the rock except our God? It is God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He causes me to stand on the heights. He trains my hands for battle. My arms can bend a bow of bronze. Now, you all know the history of the so-called white man. I'm part white. I'm not racist. But we know. We know from their fraternities and their hazing and mocking. We know from their military, even their police. We know from their politicians and how they were in frats. We know that they like to mock people. We know they like to roofie females and rape them. They like Michael Jackson. They like to have cultures where they drug little boys. Before he did that, he tried to make himself look white. And as a result, and I'm not saying all white people do this or something, but as a result, he tried to covertly drug these people. We know from the psychological operations in history, COINTELPRO, MKUltra, and that's how they get down. They covertly poison and drug. Pharmakeia means poisoning. They mock Christ. They try to feed him vinegar and so on and so forth. There's a bunch of pagans trying to make it so he seems crazy, and they were thinking about, hey, how can we drug this guy? But he wouldn't stay still in one place. It's not in my best interest to move around. And their infrastructure has improved since then. So if you see some namby-pamby government person, okay, trying to set me up, trying to set the stage where they jump me on camera or something, you know that's some baloney, honky, rich oppressor bullshit. That is some punk shit. That is only the plot that only comes from a spirit that's inferior. no spirit